This is The Art of Startup War, and I am your host, Brian McMahon. I am the sensei here at Expert Dojo, the fastest growing startup accelerator in Southern California. Now, in the first 2 seasons, we answered your questions about how to find investment for your business. We brought in the most accomplished investors in startup in America. You can find it on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Now, here in season 3, we're flipping the script. We're going to hear real stories from entrepreneurs who are in the trenches today. In these episodes, we're going to take our guests through the storytelling model called the entrepreneur's journey. We'll hear about what sparked their call to entrepreneurship, help they received along the way, forces they overcame, dark times and revelations. So join us every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and start the week a smarter entrepreneur. Good morning, it's Brian. You're back again. I'm with more phenomenal entrepreneurs here on the Morning Hour, where the only thing we talk about are phenomenal companies who are scaling at an exceptional rate, looking for a little bit of investment to make that journey absolutely complete. And this morning, I am with Sheena and I'm with Gemma from Stylette Kids. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
So, well, I kind of have to have you because you're part of my accelerator. So if we've invested money into you, and it would really suck if I didn't bring you into the fridge to give you a Ghetto Bob podcast, right?
This is quite an experience in the fridge.
This is the only time in your
Very
lives
innovative, no
you
doubt.
will ever be in a fridge doing a podcast. It's actually the only time in your lives you will ever want to be in a fridge doing a podcast, right?
Right.
Very
exactly.
true.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the future of kids' fashion, right? We're going to talk about. This is a fascinating area, and as a dad, as a super cheap dad, especially just me, right? This is me, right? This is not the reason for most people, but honestly, I look at my kid every single day and I add up how much he's cost me, and it's truly phenomenal. I could have had. I look at some houses in Malibu. I swear to God, my kids cost me like half a house in Malibu. I'm on my 4th bedroom, right? And every parent out there who've got children, as much as we love these little dears, we realize what a fortune they cost. But you know what annoys me the most? They keep growing.
They do.
Like, I don't mind the shoes. The shoes are okay. But then he grows. And then suddenly he's got like feet twice the length of mine. But in between the little teeny weeny little feet and then the feet twice the length of mine, I bought him like 7 different pairs of shoes. And they all look new by the time I have to throw them away. And
Absolutely.
you fix that problem, right?
Yes, we're going to fix that problem. I mean, kids sometimes won't even wear the items. You're lucky that your son wore it one time. Sometimes the kids will not wear it at all. They grow so fast. I mean, personally, we've had clothing with tags on them that our kids never grew or never wore because it grew too fast.
I mean, Brian, I have 3 kids, and I've seen many things come and go to waste, still with tags on. And it's just a shame just to see these clothes go unworn and wasted into the world.
And they're expensive, right?
They are
I mean,
expensive.
You get a nice jacket. Like something decent. I mean, so I can get him is TJ Maxx, tracky bottoms. I don't care, right? But I get him a nice jacket or I get him a nice sweater. You're gonna pay like $80. Actually, for a decent jacket, you could pay up to $200.
Right.
Definitely.
Which he's gonna wear once or twice. So, can you speak to specifically how you found this problem and how it became such a huge problem that you wanted to fix it, and then what you did to fix it?
Well, this really hit home to me. I do spend a lot of money on my daughter's clothing. At this point, she could go to I could pay for private school, college. So it was, at first I was giving her clothes away to neighbors, friends, and family. And it started hurting, handing off these beautiful items for free. So I started holding on to them. And I was letting people borrow them and making sure that I got it back. And I thought, well, why not make a business out of it and charge these people to borrow these items or rent these items instead of giving it out for free. So that's how I thought of this business idea.
And these are really nice items.
Very nice
right?
items, like Montclair jackets, ski outfits, party dresses.
Ski outfit's a great one, by the way. That's maybe my favorite one because it's only going to get used for a week of the year, tops. And then by the time the next year comes,
They've outgrown it.
right?
Right.
So it's like 1 week.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not just 1 week for $50. Like a nice ski outfit, $200,
Well, my neighbor's
$250.
son borrowed my daughter's ski outfit, the entire gear, the thermals, the jacket, the pants, and gave it back as gender neutral colors. So I thought, if people are borrowing ski outfits because they're not gonna wear it next season, It's a one season, one and done, and you're spending so much money. They're very costly. It's, a ski jacket's like $200.
Right.
And I'm guessing like weddings and those types of things are the
And
same.
special occasions. Yeah. I mean, going back to the idea, both Sheena and I separately came up with this idea, and then somehow a mutual friend had introduced us, and we both had this like, pivotal idea of why don't we keep the gift that keeps on giving. So for my instance, in my story, was that I came on to the receiving end of these hand-me-downs. So like I said, this is my third child. I've already gone through 2 boys. I now have this girl. Ironically, at that time when I had my daughter, I was laid off from my fashion job. And so
if I had a girl, she would wear boys' clothing. If I had 2 boys first and a girl afterwards, she'd be wearing boys' clothing until she's 17.
Which she may be, but like at that time,
or they would be wearing dresses.
So
which
for
would be
me, I
passed
thought
down.
I was done with kids. And so we had this nice surprise where we had this daughter, which unfortunately I got rid of a lot of my clothes. And so I had friends who were so lovely and handed down their clothes to me. And a lot of these were designer clothes that my daughter fortunately got to wear and embrace. And so in that instance, I felt like, why not let this gift keep on giving and share these styles with other people who would also has, a fond taste for style. So for me, I would be receiving Sheena's, beautiful clothes. And so it was just like this revolving closet that we found that we can share with other mothers out there who want style for their children, but doesn't want to invest in the designer price tags.
And actually, I was going to say, a jacket that my daughter wore in 2014, her daughter just wore on a ski trip this year for their holiday.
Exactly.
Beautiful. And Stylette Kids was born, right?
Exactly.
So the concept is that for clothing, where it is that you need it for a special occasion, or you need it for not for everyday wear, I'm imagining, right? And it will just get rented, and then it's all cleaned and it's nice and it's perfect, and it gets sent out to the person. They wear it for their bar mitzvah, they wear it for their wedding, they wear it for their quinceanera, whatever it's going to be, and then it gets sent back again.
Right.
And then you clean it and you steam dry it and you
Right.
make it beautiful again, ready to go out to the next person.
Exactly.
So it's wonderful for the people who receive it, because for a very small sum, they get their beautiful little darlings to look as gorgeous as they don't normally look. Like my kid normally looks like shit, but when I have him, when I bring him out on special occasion, I make him real nice.
Right.
Right? Because I want all my friends to see that he looks good. And for me to be able to just take something, have it sent over to my house, dress them really nice, and then have it sent back again, how easy is that life?
Right.
Not have to worry about doing the laundry.
Right. And I think we're also jumping on this bandwagon of there's this new revolution in fashion where it's all about sustainable fashion. So I think we're all aware of like the fast fashions out there that are just polluting the earth and the environment. And so now there's this new revolution for sustainability within fashion where people are either recycling clothes or recycling, the fabrics to then resuscitate and make new clothes, or just this revolving closet of consignment. There's a revolution of like consignment shops now, for example, like the Real. So I think there's this more heightened awareness, global awareness of the environment. And so that's where we want to, revolutionize this whole point of view in kids wear as well.
Yeah, and you've hit. There have been so many studies that have been done about success within entrepreneurship, and they all come back to the same point, which is timing. And you have to have the other factors as well. It's not just about the look of timing. Like you have to have a phenomenal user experience. You have to have that incredible execution. You have to have that really strong ability to be able to scale and just push aggressively to get the business forward. But without the timing, it's really hard. So would this have been brilliant 20, 30 years ago? I don't know. Would it have been different in 20 years in the future? I don't know. But today, we've never been so poor in real terms. I mean, I'm talking about as a generation. I don't care if it's millennials or if it's Z, I don't care who it is. Like
the
any of us. The Zennials are, whether it's those old fogies, like we've never been as poor as we are right now in real terms because of the expenses we have. But at the same time, we've never wanted our kids to look so nice. So we're really torn between these two areas. So I think it's great. So how did you come up with the price point for specific things? So let's take the entire ski outfit, right? I want to take my little fella skiing. I know it's $200, $220 to get like a jacket, get the thermals, get the shoes, maybe a little bit more, is it?
Right. We really looked to Rent the Runway as like our inspiration in terms of like setting that benchmark for pricing. And so we were looking, between based off of a ticketed price that our customers would rent for about 50 to 70% off the ticketed price. And so if you're spending for a $120 dress, we're hoping that you could rent it for less, for around like $40 to $50.
Yeah, which you would, because actually the convenience is almost as important as the price. Like I love the fact that it's cheaper. Trust me, it like ties directly into my repressed Catholic Irish self.
Right.
But I love more the fact that I don't have to go to a store and look through the store and try and find out the right thing, because I'm going to take something terrible because I'm going to get bored halfway through it.
Right.
So being able to look through, choose out something beautiful, have it sent to me. How long does it take for me to receive it?
We're hoping once you place the order, we will ship the item within 24 hours.
So I actually, aside from this, I have to introduce you to Shipsy.
Yes.
You need to meet Chelsea, who's part of our accelerator as well. She does 1 hour transport. They do it on the back of Uber Eats and Postmates, but it means that you can get stuff directly delivered out to people without them having to wait.
Awesome.
But I love that you've got, normally there's a little bit of time as well.
Right.
So
well, we're also hoping, within the Los Angeles area, offering this 5-star service of delivering it hand delivered to your
white glove
to your
delivery.
door.
That's going to be nice, but you won't be able to do that. It'll be difficult to do it yourselves after a while. You might have to outsource it, especially as this is going to blow up, which it will. And then how often, just sticking with, stick with the skiing one for a second, how often, if somebody's paying 30%, let's say, of the cost of it, so let's say that was $200, let's say I pay $60, how often can you rent that?
So we're estimating that an item will have 6 wears before we deem it as no longer rentable. So we're giving.
Does that vary if it's a jacket or if it's a dress or if it's trousers?
So if it's a dress, we estimate probably 6 times a year. But if it's a jacket, obviously it's a seasonable business. So we hope that there'll be more longevity, that we can wear it at least,
for a few years.
A few years over 6 wears.
And maybe reduce the price as it goes on.
Correct. And we're hoping, depending on how the quality of these rented items look, we would look to then have like a seasonal clearance and then sell the items. So then if, say, someone rented this same style twice and they ended up loving it, they can have the opportunity of buying it at the end of the season.
Okay, so this is very nice. So you take stock, which is like $250. You then probably buy it for, I'm guessing, for wholesale, nice wholesale price. You get it for low. And then you're making your money back after 2 or 3 rentals.
Right. Correct.
It's a good business, right?
Yes, right.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was why we invested in it.
And
It's a
we'll
great business.
And then we'll sell it for retail price.
It's a great
but
business.
I do have to say, Brian, like being, my background is in retail. I think some of the challenges or hurdles that we are finding right now is selling this idea to the wholesalers out there, because, they think that they can sell the item and then we would then retail it for a certain price, right? Like they're expecting that we would then sell it for $150, but then renting it is a new horizon for these suppliers. And so I think it's just getting them on this new level of retailing, that we are then renting this item that they sell to us 2-3 times a person, where they're thinking that they can get the revenue off of just selling it to a retailer where they would just sell it for one price.
It's a new world.
It is a new world.
What I find within entrepreneurship in general is there are 2 objectives. The first one is not to die today. Right, is to make sure we always have enough cash flow and we're always driving on business development so that we protect our business, we protect our partners, we protect everything on a daily basis. We cannot die. The only reason businesses die is because we run out of money. Are we running out of money? Are we running out of time? Like one of those 2 things. So if we can continually make sure that we're driving revenue and that we're increasing the amount of time, then we have a chance to achieve the second part. And the second part is to make sure that we acknowledge that when we start a business, any business, even when it's as fully defined as your business, that we're only 12.5%, maybe 14% complete. So what does that mean? It means that we believe we have this great concept. We believe that everybody's going to buy it. We believe it's going to be 6 wears. But actually, once we sell the first jacket, we find out that maybe it's 4 wears or maybe it's 7 wears. No matter whether it's 4 or 7, it doesn't matter, because we're now 13% complete in our business because we need those learns to continually move the business forward and make it stronger. And you may find actually that the wholesalers are not the ones that you end up getting a lot of the product from.
Right.
You may find out that there are actually other sources, such as possibly other yous, who have these extra jackets that you're not using anymore that maybe you'll pass in. Like this can go in a number of different directions. The important thing right now is that you've taken the step to start.
Right.
And, we supported you on this because we believe in both of you. We believe in the business that you're putting together. We believe the marketplace is enormous. And, kind of the point that you brought up at the beginning about the sustainability space is a really, really big space, and it can't be understated enough. Kids cause the majority of it. At least the rest of us. Like if we're saying guys, girls, kids. Guys, we're okay. Like we'll wear a pair of jeans for 14 years.
Yes, that's
guaranteed,
my husband.
right?
He'll wear it like 100
We're okay.
times.
Yeah, and then you come over and you say, "Don't you think you need to change that?" I'm saying, "No, I'm good. I think I'm good.
Well, surprisingly,
These are my favorite jeans. I've worn these jeans forever, right?" Yeah. Women, not so much, right? Not so much.
They're on the opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah, a few more pairs of shoes, a few more other bits and pieces, but it's okay. But they won't get thrown away necessarily, right? The shoes will still stay, like the clothing will still stay. Kids are a nightmare because there's no reason for us to keep, unless we're having more kids.
Well,
there's no
kids
reason
nowadays, in my daughter's preschool, I can name numerous children who have their own Instagram page and they take a lot of photos. So people don't want to, like adults, they don't want to be photographed with the same outfit more than once. So it's the same thing with children. Whoa. They have their own social media at 3 years old starting. And so same philosophy.
Yeah, there's a heightened awareness of like what you wear and how many times you wear it nowadays.
Wow.
With social media.
So talk to me about how difficult this has been.
How difficult what has been the journey so
all
far?
All of it, yeah, all of it. Because obviously, look, the beginning bit is easy. It's like, oh, I have this idea. You have this idea. I have this idea.
Right.
Oh my God, that's such a great idea.
Right.
We're going to be best friends forever and we're going to do it. Like that first 5 minutes is awesome.
It's awesome.
Right?
It's awesome. And I think there's a lot of like insecurities that come with it as well too. And I think now that we're a part of this accelerator program and because of you and because of Alex, we now feel like we have this validation and purpose for this idea and having it come to fruition. I would say in terms of, some of the hardships, I would definitely say like I am by no means a CSS designer and could create my website. And so, just the technological piece of it of like building a website and putting that together has been, a learning experience for us.
We've been trying to do everything ourselves from the get-go. So
we've been very scrappy in trying to save money. So we've built a website on our own.
Logos, everything on our own.
Created
photo
the
shoots.
logos, creating, shooting our product, shooting our Instagram photos. Like it's been a wild ride and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this learning process.
And talk to me about some of the more difficult times. Maybe moments when you've questioned whether you've made the right move or not.
Well, I feel like I'm still in it. I'm just finishing up getting my MBA. I graduate this week.
Yay!
Yay! So thank you. We started Stylette last year, or it's been a year. So that's been really difficult, especially as things have progressed in the last few months with Stylette. It's been definitely very tough to do both. I'm a single mom, so being a single mom and going to school full time to get my MBA and do Stylette full time has been definitely tough.
It's tiring.
No doubt.
Definitely challenging.
I mean, I think for me, I've had over 15 years of experience in retail. I've worked at a corporate job for many, many, many years. And I think I'm a very risk-averse person. And I think this is all new territory of jumping into this life of being an entrepreneur. It's been a wild ride and it's been really exciting. And I think the one thing that I've learned about for me is that I've worked with 2 heritage companies and then taking this leap of faith of being an entrepreneur and starting a business. I've met many people in the retail business and I think to myself, if they can do it, why can't I do it? And I think it's just building that confidence to just take that leap of starting a business on your own has been crazy but fun.
Have you I don't normally ask this question and before I ask it, I would preface it by saying that the vast majority of the entrepreneurs here are either women entrepreneurs or they are the non-normal Silicon Valley, 22-year-old boy entrepreneurs that they would normally choose. So like we choose warriors and fighters within it. But I'm always interested, as female entrepreneurs, have you found it any more difficult or more challenging than you would have expected it to be?
Well, for me, this is not my first rodeo. I had a Pilates studio for 20 years. I started when I was really young. So I'm just really used to working very hard and kind of like survival of the fittest and just having this philosophy of I can have what I want. It's not just the boys club out there, but women have a right to it too. So I feel like I haven't let those barriers get in the way of my goals in life.
What about you?
I worked for 2 companies that were founded and led by men. And so I think I learned firsthand how women are at a disadvantage when it comes to like growing in the ranks within a corporate retail world. So I would say that I've had that experience where, yes, there are challenges when you voice an opinion or have a point of view on something, you're kind of looked at as like a bitch.
Yeah.
Whereas, I think that this is a very different territory that I don't think we've yet experienced. I guess what's the word that I'm looking for? Any hardships being women with investors.
I feel like I had a conversation with a friend who tried to discourage me, saying, "Oh, it's 2 women. Do you have a guy on board? Do you have a CTO?" He's like, "It's really rough out there. No one's going to take you seriously. 2 women, no one's going to take you seriously." So we had that conversation.
So here's so bad news and good news, right? The bad news is the investment situation in general is incredibly sexist. And if you look at the percentage of female entrepreneurs that get money as opposed to male entrepreneurs, it's like really low. Mm-hmm. The good news is that women entrepreneurs are beasts. And actually, with the one exception of the investment, and it's only at the beginning, once you get past that first stage, they can't ignore you. They can't hold back the money. Mm-hmm. The money comes flowing through because they know you've already broken through. So with the exception of that, with the exception of that, it is brilliant. There's no glass ceilings. There's no challenges. There's no anything because you're in control. You're CEO, COO of your own company. Mm-hmm. The developers who build your website, they work for you. And if they don't like you and they don't like what you do, wonderful. They can find somebody else to be a servant of. Same with all of the marketing people. Same with everybody else that's out there. So there's one thing that we have to do, like as a communal team, and that's to make sure that we get your traction moving like a beast. Because once the traction goes quickly, then we'll get you the seed funding. The seed funding is the only challenging stage.
Right.
There's one tough thing about not having no money, and then there's a tough thing about having money. The tough thing about having no money is it's really hard because you're trying to scramble. How the hell do we get like $1,500 to do something? The tough thing about getting money is you start getting held accountable.
Right.
So you start having partners that you're bringing in, like us, where we're saying it's not the 50K. Like the 50K is the 50K. It's about we're all in this together to try and achieve something huge. And that means that we're going to run the marathon as a sprint. And that means it starts right now. And as long as you can get bought in to doing it every day, the 14 hours, the 15 hours, the 16 hours, and hell, you're mom, so you've done that anyway. It's not like it's hard.
There's no sleep.
You did Pilates and mom, so there's no sleep anyway. Then we'll crush it. I feel it's a wonderful, wonderful business. And I feel the market and the timing and everything is absolutely phenomenal. But we're definitely in the race of our lives.
Yes.
And we run that race. We'll hit seed funding. We'll raise the seed funding, position you in an amazing place for Series A.
Awesome. Perfect.
Talk to me about, so you're 5 years in the future. I just gave you my little motivational speech, right? You're 5 years in the future and you've achieved X and the business is doing Y and you're speaking to investors, thanking them for the support that they've given and what you've achieved. What does the speech sound like?
Wow.
God.
Well, I just want to start out with believing in us. Definitely. It takes someone to really believe in your vision and support you. And I would be so thankful for that.
I would say
you're 5 years in the future. You're thanking them very specifically for what you've achieved.
You'd say, Brian, thank you
No,
so much.
I'm not included. I'm not included. Come on,
Brian,
I'm not
thank you
included.
for believing in us. You were our first believer.
I'm not included. I'm just wacky and crazy. But like, what did you do? What did you do over the 5 years? How much money did you raise, first of all?
In 5 years? Wow.
Yeah, we're 5 years in the future. You're looking back.
100 million.
Okay. And what did the 100 million do?
We definitely we know how we want to scale the business. So there's lots of avenues to grow from.
The $100 million bought us brand awareness.
Okay, good. Yep.
And that we were the ones that pioneered renting children's clothes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some more. Come on, I want some more. You raised $100 million. That's huge.
Without giving away all our secrets.
That makes you one of the biggest companies in the world. And you did it, you pioneered like the renting of children's clothing, which the benefits of that were that you have kids all around the world
Right.
and parents all around the world. They got to feel special and great without having to worry about the cost of buying really expensive things all of the time.
Well, I also think that, there will be a thanks to all the designers out there and the suppliers that believed in our brand.
How many designers and suppliers?
Hundreds.
Okay.
Hundreds. We're going to be thanking the Stella McCartneys, the Gucci's, the Monclers out there for supporting our business.
Okay, good.
Yes.
And they provided beautiful clothing at an incredible
Quality
price so
clothing
that kids could get it
They were
everywhere.
first suppliers.
Wonderful. I like that. First suppliers. Now we're
suppliers,
cooking.
yes.
Now we're cooking. And how many kids have rented clothing from you?
Oh,
It's not even
millions.
the parents. They're
Millions.
incidental.
Millions.
Okay, how many millions?
Wow.
You raised $100 million. How many millions of people have rented clothing from you over the last 5 years?
The kids.
So there's
penetration.
40. Is there 40 billion kids in America?
There are 40, I would say 40 million. Sounds
40 million.
about right, yeah. 40 million, yeah.
40, right.
Right. So 40 million, right?
Yeah, all of them.
Yes.
Every kid in America is going to rent clothing
Every kid
from
in
you.
America. And we also,
And then their children will.
and if this
and then
is our Emmy speech, we obviously have to thank our families and our kids who helped us come up with this idea and
Hang
this,
on one sec.
and this
Hey,
problem.
Vincent, can we do that bit again? I want to do it again only because this is your final shout out to investors, right?
Oh, right.
So
okay.
I want the investors to see. I know I sprung it on you, so
we
don't
were-
worry,
yeah.
right? So I want the
We're not good
investors
with
to
on cue.
see. Yeah, I just do this stuff.
How many kids
I
are
just do
gonna-
this stuff, right? So I want you to, when I say to you, okay, so now, just to finish off, 5 years in the future, you're looking back at every single thing that you've achieved. Talk to me, give me your speech as to what it is. And it should be something like, I want to thank the hundreds of designers that came on board. Not only did we get like the greatest designers in the world who provided clothing at a really low price, like Stella McCarthy and those guys, but I also want to thank the designers that nobody ever heard of, who are over in countries
that's
all
what I'm
around the
gonna be doing,
world,
yeah.
and they got it right.
Love
I
that.
also want to thank the 7 million parents. You can never get the whole market, but you can get a percentage of the market. So if we know that there are
There's 40 million, actually. I looked it up. I
yeah,
don't know why I said
there's
40 billion.
40
I'm
million,
nervous.
40 million kids. So if there's 40 million kids, then we're going to say the over 1 million, our first million children who have rented clothing from us on multiple times. Because if you get 1 million kids and you're getting $49, you're already up to like, and they're doing it multiple times, you're already up to like $50-60 million a year. Okay.
All right.
And then you just do that. And then you say, I also want to thank the investors who invested not only at seed where we raised our 1.5 million, not only at Series A where we raised our 20 million. I want investors to see that you're so specific about what you wanted to do and what your roadmap looks like. Okay.
So Series A will be 1.5.
Oh no, your seed will be 1.5.
Oh, what is C? It's 1.5.
Yeah, your Series A will be like 5 million. And then up to 100 million. Say we raised 1.5, then we raised 5, then we raised 10 million, then we raised 100 million.
Okay.
So Series A is 5 million.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to say Series A if you don't want to. I just want
I
you to
will,
be
will.
I want you to be super specific, okay? And don't worry, we can do it again if we need to.
Okay.
So, wow, this is phenomenal. So I want to finish this as a speech that you're going to give, and your speech is in 5 years' time. And that speech is speaking to all of the investors, the suppliers, the kids, and everybody who is supported you to become the monster company that you are. What does that speech sound like?
Well, first and foremost, we'd like to thank the investors for believing in us, for our pre-seed money, the $1.5 million that we got, and our Series A, our $5 million that we got, and really believing in us and taking us to where we are now with 1 million subscribers that first year.
And we'd also like to thank the suppliers, the designers, the brands out there that came and supported us. You know, we have hundreds of brands out there like Gucci, Stella McCartney, Tutu Dumont, all of these great, beautiful pieces and styles and quality goods that we can serve our customers with. And so we wanted to give, a shout out to them because everything comes down to the product and the beauty of the product. So thank you, suppliers out there.
And Patagonia, they really, really supported us in this vision and mission. It aligns with them, and they're one of our suppliers. So
I like this. You're getting into this. This is good.
Yes, it's
feels real because it is real. And as a part of your team, I want to thank, our Series B and Series C investors for helping bringing us to that $100 million raise that allowed the company to go into the millions of subscribers, and those subscribers all taking multiple orders every single year, which is bringing the company close to its first $100 million a year.
Easy. Yeah, there's 40 million kids in America, so
we're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
I love it. So look, investors, if you're listening, you don't want to do this or get involved because you've got female entrepreneurs. You don't want to get involved because it's an early business. You want to get involved because this business is touching in an area which its timing has come to a place which is now. So I want you to reach out to the two ladies. It doesn't even matter if you're reaching out for investment. It doesn't matter if you're reaching out for mentorship. It doesn't matter if you're reaching out for advice. I don't care if you're a developer who wants to give help. What I do care about is that here in LA, we support our early stage companies and we support it across the spectrum. So how can everybody contact you to give you all that help?
Well, you can email us at hello@stylette.co.
Hello.
We're here to make you lots of money.
Okay, and just spell Stylette so everybody can see that.
STYLETTE.
Okay, it's been awesome. I'm so pleased, not just because my kid's going to get like his first jacket that he gets to look good in, but we're going to get an amazing
Brian, we'll give
company.
you your first rental for free.
Oh, no, no, I couldn't possibly. You're awesome. Okay, we're going to crush it.
We are going to crush it.
Says.
Thanks for supporting us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us and believing in us.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us. If you love the podcast, please empower your circle by sharing these stories. The Art of Startup War is brought to you by Expert Dojo. And remember, we invest in startups, $50,000 checks. Make sure you apply on our site if you are one of those great entrepreneurs looking to bring your company to the next level. As far as the Art of Startup War is concerned, we are back every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. So remember, check out the new episodes. If you want to find out what the investors think, check out season 1 or 2. But make sure you join us every single week.